Honorable panels, the major downfall of side opposition is their unending oppression among fellow human beings. Is the glorification of unending greed of human beings. Government want to minimize this greed. We say we'll stop individuals using their power to get as much privilege as possible. We see that being happy in other people's sadness is never justified. Proud to propose. What are our stance inside government? Three parts. First, on our side, we will grant scholarship only on the basis of financial necessity. What is financial necessity? It is the lack of funding for certain individuals. Therefore, they are given subsidies. This funding will be the form of scholarship. What is scholarship? Within that scholarship is a free or a certain percentage of discount to access of schools or university. But thirdly, which type of people then will be given scholarship, right? Those that are lack financially. They are those that are living in poverty all their life, but never give up, trying to fight the system of oppression, trying to fight against the societal structure of marginalization. Those are the type of people that we're trying to give scholarship to. Our side looks like university giving scholarship to students that financially need scholarship that are accepted to the university and get a score of 90 and keep on trying to fight against the societal structure instead of giving to a scholarship to individuals that get a score of 95. Second stand, we will still undergo tests based on intelligence, meaning only those who are worthy will be given the scholarship. We're saying that universities still have the right to decline all offers from impoverished individuals. We say that standardization of universities and check and balance system exist in universities on our side. Universities do not need to reduce their standard. But thirdly, government isn't limited in giving simply local universities, right? But also to the extent of top universities outside the country, meaning our case extended to the case of bonded government scholarship. We say that that is also in itself justified. But thirdly, but lastly, before I go to my argument, why then is it the interest of universities in the first place, right? Two things that universities want. First, they want a good reputation for their university, meaning the best type of individuals entering the university. Secondly, these universities are those that are eager to have the next Elon Musk graduating from their universities. We think that this is the type of university's interest in the first place. So two arguments then in my speech. First, why is it principally justified to grant scholarship in the basis of financial necessity? Second, why would create a much dynamic and improving society? Going to my first argument on justification. Three things here. First is the argument of birth lottery. Notice that the largest problem of birth lottery is people can never choose to which kind of family they are born, whether or not they're able to pursue what they love in life, their passion, which requires a huge monetary funding. The solution is simple. We provide access for these individuals when they are able to go to high top tier university to the extent of a much higher priority. What we'll be doing is trying to provide the tap to success that they have never gotten the chance of from the moment they are born. But secondly, it's in the point of retribution. Panels, these individuals have been discriminated against for years. They are those that are simply living on the slums on a certain country. We say that giving access to the best kind of education is important because inherently throughout their life, the state has failed to give access to what they are obligated to have. Because the moment you are born inside a state, the state gives you a promise because it's sacrifice of life in terms of taxation, for example. And this is a reciprocal responsibility to provide you with the fair and basic standard of living, including the best kind of education. But last, we can see that perhaps there are several individuals that are privileged and got a higher score. Why then is it justified for those smart individuals to be cut off their life of scholarship? Notice panels, their achievement in and of itself comes from direct exposure of their own privilege, where they have access to simply extra private lessons, top tier schools, and high quality teacher. We say that a higher result in and of itself isn't based only on their hard work, making it justified to cut their right from the scholarship. Sure, meaning it's symmetrical on both sides that you're accepted, but what makes it symmetrical and justified is these unprivileged individuals being accepted despite their oppression, making it justified to cut off the right of these privileged individuals from scholarship. In conclusion, despite its harms and benefits that I will later explain my second argument, universities and government in and of itself have the moral obligation to give scholarship only to the disenfranchised individuals. But before I go to my second argument, two exclusive framing here. What's the problem, right? The problem is that these disenfranchised individuals are continue oppressed in serious school on how even with a good score, they still can't get into their dream universities because what they need is a full scholarship. And we say that this is the horror of serious school. And secondly, in my setup, I've explained how universities want good reputation about themselves, which side can achieve the interest of universities win this debate. So how do we solve this? Firstly, notice that even being accepted by these top universities prove that they are geniuses within themselves. How even without a private teacher and a top tier school, they can combust and improve on their own and also compete with those that are geniuses teachers. This is crucial because this proves how the entrance test doesn't necessarily show their true potential as an individual. We see that in the long-term run, if they are accepted in this university, receiving scholarship, there's then a higher chance of them being smarter compared to the privileged individuals. What is the impact here? Three things. First, on university. Exactly how university have an interest to receive a good reputation, therefore achieving or accepting these individuals are beneficial because then the narrative of university on how they are able to unlock the hidden potential of individuals that are disenfranchised are so crucial. It will boost universities' ranking. But secondly, on society and disenfranchised individuals, there's a more equity society on our side, on how we will change a society that is based on oppression into a society that is based on hard work and intelligence, meaning these individuals will have a higher chance of rising from the slums and oppression. We erase the barricade of injustice in education and of itself. But thirdly, is widens in the incentive of governments and nation. Smart meaning, notice that smarter individuals, more competition in economy sector. We say that competition will be more fluid on our side, making the nation progress faster. We think that this is the interest of every nation. What side opposition needs to prove to win this debate is two things. First, why do they impact the most kind of people in the best kind of way? But secondly, why is it even justified in the first place to give subsidies to this kind of individuals? We say that it is never justified to give this kind of subsidies. Panels, the role of government gives an end to the oppression of minorities, even if it means sacrificing the right of privileged individuals from scholarship. Living in happiness while wiping out someone's dream is never justified. Proud to propose.